Case involving a 37-year-old maths teacher from Ivory Park Secondary School has been postponed until next week. Stephen Zonguza appeared briefly at the Kempton Park Magistrates Court in connection with the alleged rape of a 17-year-old matric learner. Police say the suspect allegedly went into hiding after learning that officers were looking for him. He was later arrested at a relative's house on Wednesday. Newzroom Afrika's Zola Sholwana joins us now. She has the latest on the Zola. Good afternoon to you. What exactly happened in this case?
Well, Stephen, just to remind our viewers what led us to this point. Now, according to the information that was shared in court by the state's prosecutor, the accused called the complainant on the 25th of December 2025 and asked about her whereabouts, and the accused, or rather the complainant, told the accused that she is at home, and the 37-year-old teacher then went to pick up the complainant at her home, and they went to his house where he offered that they watch TV or watch movies, and it is also alleged that, excuse me, it is alleged that the accused then forced himself onto the 17-year-old, who is believed to be a learner, and a learner that's being taught, by this accused during after classes or, after lessons, Stephen. So that is the information that was shared in court. They didn't get into finer details as to how many times, has this happened, and those are details that will be shared as soon as the accused formally applies for bail, and that will be happening next week, Thursday. So it was a brief appearance as expected. The court told him of his charge, and that is a charge of rape, and made him understand that it is a Schedule 6 offense, considering the fact that we are talking about a 17-year-old here who is a minor, Stephen. So we will hear more details next week. But this case has reignited calls once again of the importance of vetting of teachers, so that cases of this kind do not become, a reoccurrence in society. Now, we're going to get a reaction from the Gauteng education spokesperson, Steve Mabona, about what transpired in court today. Steve, thank you very much for your time. Of course, not much happened today, but we know that the accused is facing a charge of rape, and that is a Schedule 6 offense. From your side as the department, what steps are you taking at this moment?
No, thanks very much. From our side, like as we've indicated, we take this matter seriously. That's why we have then started the internal process, as it were. As soon as the employee is released on bail, we should be in a position to interact, to manage the process of him coming back at work, on how we're going to be managing that. But definitely it's quite a serious matter, and we just want to call upon parents and children at the affected school. Allay their fears. This matter is managed. They don't need to disrupt schooling, because we understand that there was an element of those that would have been saying we want to disrupt schooling. If there are some who have complaints, they need to interact with the school management and will be directed to the police, so that then if there are other cases that need to be investigated, then the police must do that.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the issue of a teacher offering extra classes to one-on-one extra classes to a learner outside the school premises. Is this something that's permitted by the department?
No, that can't be allowed. You will know that we encourage our schools to conduct extra curriculum, activities in the form of, making sure that we support learners, most especially those that are in the further education and training, grade 10, 11, 12. That's where a lot of work is done. And so those don't have weekends. If they have to do that, they will do it at schools, or if it's during holidays, we will take them to a venue in a form of a group that will be assisted. So it can't be that an educator will be offering to take a child in his or her residence for any curriculum activity.
beyond the issue of vetting, Steve, which is something that we spoke about quite a lot to ensure that learners are in safe hands, there are also concerns about ongoing monitoring in schools to ensure that these kind of incidents do not happen, and if they do, learners can easily find a way to report them to the relevant structures at school.
No, you will recall that school safety is one of the priorities that we have elevated actually to an extent that working very closely with the SGBs, because the well-being and safety of children, it's a responsibility of SGB to do that. But as a department, we support them, take them through necessary training so that they can assist to detect, but also make sure that we allocate budget that is going to be assisting when coming to safety of our children in our schools. So we'll continue to work very closely with the schools, make sure that educators are imparted with knowledge or continued training, because they need to follow the code. There's code of ethics that they need to adhere to. There's the certificates from South African Council of Educators. That's why we have a partnership with the ELRC to say any sexual assault case, we take it directly to them so that when they pronounce, we will then be implementing. But many of the cases now, since they are being attended by the ELRC, most of the educators would have been expelled. And if they want to contest, they will then have to go to court.
Mm-hmm. What kind of support is currently being given to the pupil and her family during this time?
We have already interacted with the parents yesterday already, and we have offered the counseling, and they actually considered that they will need that. So we are working very closely with them so that we make sure that the child is ready to come back to the school, because now that this thing is in the news and it's known everywhere, everyone knows about it, she might be affected, that she does not want probably to come to school, and she's doing grade 12, need support. I mean, it's almost at the tail end of term 1, and that's where we're doing assessments, and we need the SBAs, and we need that. So it's important that we need to support, and we've already started with that process.
Thank you very much, Steve Mabona, the Gauteng Education spokesperson, giving us a reaction on a very brief appearance that we saw take place here at the Kempton Park Magistrates Court, Stephen. We will, of course, get more details on this case, as the accused is expected back in court next week, Thursday, and that is where he will be applying, for bail. Back to you in studio.
Zola Sholwana, thank you very much indeed for that story. Well.